Jaden Show, and here's your host, Jaden Cornelious. Happy Sunday, beautiful, beautiful people. I hope you have had a fantabulous week. It seems a long time since we were last here together, but we are gathered here today to witness an amazing Jaden show because I'm speaking to friend and author C.S.Catlin about an amazing book that she has written. It's called The Doves of Castle Dunbar. It features time travel, romance, murders, kidnapping, Toronto, England, Scotland. It's an amazing book for everybody. And I've read it twice and I bloody loved it. And I know you're going to as well. But the most exciting part of that is you are going to meet the author in a matter of seconds. Let me just show you a little bit of the promo video for the book, and then we'll go and meet our very special guest. People of the world, put your hands together and welcome to the Jaden Show. This week's incredibly special guest, the amazing author, C.S.Catlin. C.S.Catlin, authoress extraordinaire, welcome to the Jaden Show. How are you, lovely lady?
I am so well, thank you, and such a pleasure to see you.
It's amazing. Well, it's amazing, seeing though we only live 3 minutes around the corner, that we have to catch up on my show. I'm guessing
you're always so busy. You never accept my invitation for a cup of tea.
Well, no, I'm going to be coming round, and it won't be just a cup. I will probably want a flagon, to be fair.
Got it.
Amazing. How have you been? You good? You're looking extremely well and glorious at the moment.
Thank you. We are living in a beautiful paradise here.
Absolutely.
We need nothing else but the birds and the trees and the beautiful weather.
Absolutely. Now, listen, I want to talk to you because I want to share with all my 7 fans and 1 whippet. I want to share with them. I want to share with them because I know that you are an authoress. Do they still call them authoresses, or are you just an author? Not just an author, but do they call you author or authoress?
I like author.
Okay.
And that's my English accent. Author.
Author. Okay, I shall speak properly so you can get it back by the end of the show.
Right.
Okay, so you're an author. I've actually was probably one of the first people to read your books. It's called The Doves of Castle Dunbar. Absolutely, completely my kind of book. I loved every second of it. And I actually read it twice in the end because I about 6 months later, I really needed to read it again. It's a really amazing book and it's quite interesting. Are there any parts of that story that you think relate to your life up until you read that book?
Oh, yes, definitely. There's a lot of me in the story.
Yeah.
Definitely, yes. Strange happenings, for instance. The book is about soulmates. And I definitely found mine. Much by chance, I met him, and 14 days later, he asked me to marry him. Wow. And after 53 years, we're still married, and I think happily.
Wow, that's amazing.
So soulmates is a very big thing for me. The book is about soulmates. What can I tell you? Albert Einstein said that energy cannot be destroyed, nor can it be created.
Mhm.
Energy can be transformed. Our souls are energy. We are chemical. We are chemical beings. We are energy. Our souls are energy. When we pass on the other side, our physical body disintegrates. It becomes dust to dust. But
Absolutely.
where does our soul go to? And this was one of the points that was very moving for me in the book. I believe that we are soulmates that come from another dimension, somewhere where our minds cannot conceive.
Mhm.
And we come to this earth to find each other, because each soul, this is about the book, each soul separates and goes its own way when it comes to our earth, the earth,
Mhm.
this life. And I believe we search for each other. And when we find each other, our souls integrate and go back together as one.
Do you,
So
do you think the soulmate thing, is it past life as well? Do you think we always meet up with that soulmate to continue our experiences? Or do you think we have like soulmates in different existences, different reincarnations?
that's a subject for another book.
Okay.
It's a very interesting question. I would like to open the possibilities that we have many loves, many loves. If you believe in many lives, then wouldn't it be wonderful that we experience love on different planes in each life?
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Perhaps grow.
That's
Grow
definitely your
in
next
love.
book then. So when did you like discover your passion for writing? Because obviously, you were born and bred in the United Kingdom. You
Yes, I
had
will.
some time in Italy. You end up moving to Canada, and then now you live in Mexico. So you're quite well traveled. Probably had lots of life experiences throughout those years of traveling and meeting different people, and obviously meeting the love of your life. Did you know from an early age that writing was your passion and something that you love to do, or was it something? How did it evolve within you?
When I was 10 years old at a preparatory school in Canada, I entered in an essay contest and won first prize.
Okay.
And that was when I knew I wanted to be a writer. But my first book came out 1997, I believe, more or less, because life gets in the way.
Yeah.
Life gets complicated. Marriage, children, doing all kinds of things that life presents, because life is wonderful. I don't believe in just cutting everything off and doing one thing. The experiences of life are in the books. So now that we have time, we have peace and quiet, is when I have the urge, the need to sit down and write.
Right. Okay. So it's like having all those collective thoughts and needing, now that there is more time to sit in some beautiful paradise and reflect and look back at the things that have happened. Now is the time to piece them all together and make stories, right?
I've been writing all these years, and I did write I have another book that perhaps I'll get back to it one day. I did send it out to publishers, and it was rejected and rejected and rejected over and over again. And I think I lost a lot of confidence.
Yeah, of course, that's understandable.
Yeah, but I've never stopped writing one thing or another, all kinds of things. I mean, thoughts, politics, religion, things that come into my head, and it's down on paper. On paper, do you remember paper and pen?
Actually, I was even before calculators, so I'm with you, sister. Don't worry. Wow, that's amazing. So this is not your first book, and we are going to have more time talking about your first book in another show. But your first book was very poignant. It was very deep. It was through a very traumatic experience that you had, that your family had gone through. What made you go from something that was so, how do I say, something that was so intense to something that is so mystical, magical, beautiful, emotional? Was it just, I mean, do you literally just love writing and your genres depend on what is happening in your life in that moment? Or
The Doves of Castle Dunbrer.
can you hold it up a little bit more? So, because I only saw the top. That's so lovely. And really crazy. I have been seeing two bloody doves every single day above my house since I've read that book.
Really?
Really, really, really.
You know, I never thought we would see doves here. The doves are very, very much a part of us where we used to live before we moved here. We had a lovely garden, and we would put out grains for the birds.
Mhm.
And the birds, the sparrows and the robins, had to move away because the doves kept coming in. And we had flocks and flocks of doves.
Wow.
And there's one scene in the book where she is in the gymnasium doing her exercise, and a family of doves comes and perches on a bench, and she watches them. And the scene, I'm not going to tell you what's in the book, you have to read it. Well, you've already read it.
Yeah.
But everybody else will have to read it. And that scene happened to me personally, and it just stuck in my mind. And since we had put out all the grains, the bird seed for the doves, we had flocks every day, and they would perch on the chimney, on the chimney place and on the roof every morning. When we moved here, I was very sad because I knew that no one else would do what we did with the bird seed. Yeah. But as I said at the beginning, there are many strange happenings that happened to me personally that when you read it, you're going to say this is imaginary. But for instance, there's one point in the book where she's in the airport. The book is in three parts. Mm-hmm. The beginning of the book one, is in 1185, and it's during the reign of King Richard I, who was King of England, who never stepped foot in England and never spoke English, which is a very strange thing. But anyway, I did a lot of researching on history about King Richard, and I adapted history to my story.
Okay.
I did not adapt the story to history. I adapted history to my story. So there's a lot of it that's true, and there's a lot of it that's not, but just take it as a grain of salt. Anyway, so then the book 2 is, I believe, I don't remember exactly what year, but we jumped from 1185 to 19, whatever it was. And then that's where the story takes off in modern times. Mm. So she's at the airport and she trips, and she feels hands on her front and on her back holding her up. This happened to me. Wow. I was at the Mexico City airport. We were going to receive people coming in to visit. And my husband had taken the car to the parking lot and left me at the door. And I was walking with a cane. And there were crowds of people. And as I was walking, I tripped. And I felt myself flying. Wow. But I also felt a hand on my stomach and a hand on my back. And I was propped up, and I got my balance, and I looked around to say thank you, and there was no one there.
Wow.
And shivers go up my spine. Really, I mean, it happened to me. A good Samaritan that had to get to his flight or her flight and just moved on. But usually you stay and you say, "Are you all right? Can I help?"
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially because I was with a cane. But as I looked around, there was no one there. So as I say, this happened to me. And of course I had to put it in the book. So there are strange happenings with the dogs as well. Strange happenings. That, yes, there's a lot of me in it. Anybody out there who knows Toronto and Yorkville in the 1990s will also love the book, because Yorkville, as you remember, it was the coffee bars and summertime and the cars and the XKEs and the Chevrolets and the people walking around and picking other people up, and everybody knowing when life was not as challenging as it is today. You could talk to people then.
It was more community, right?
Was very, very different to what it is now. So that's why I put a lot of Yorkville in there as well, to remind us that life was good once when we could trust people.
Talking about trusting people and living in a place where you felt that kind of free and secure and that part of the community, do you miss Canada or England? Do you love Mexico or find it difficult? How do these countries compare?
I feel great nostalgia for London. Sorry, but I do get a bit moved. But I couldn't live in England again. Not today, no. Toronto, I left a lot of my heart there as well.
Yeah.
Toronto was very important to me. But I couldn't live anywhere but Mexico. There's a lot of me here.
Wow.
Because of my husband. But no, I couldn't live anywhere else.
Wow.
There's just a flavor here that
doesn't exist anywhere else. So this is your home at the moment.
To that.
Yeah.
You know.
So this is your home at the moment.
Oh yes, this is our home.
Okay.
Yes, I guess I'm more Mexican now than anything else.
Wow, amazing. That's amazing. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to pause this and just shut my dogs up. I don't know what's making them bark. Hang on a minute. Oi! Wally! Wally! Maybe it's CFE coming to read the meters. That's due this month. Okay, so we went on from saying Mexico is home now.
Yes.
So we'll carry on with that conversation. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So how long have you lived in Mexico now?
53 years.
In Mexico? Wow.
Yes. Well, as I said, yes, I was only 10 when I came. No, I wish. No, we've been married 53 years. I was married here. As I said, we met, and as I said, we saw each other every day. Friends introduced us, and it just so happened that we could see each other every day. And we went to the wedding of some friends of his, and this is true, absolutely true. We were sitting watching the bride and groom dance for the first time.
Yeah.
And I looked over to Roberto, and it flashed into my mind, what would you do if he asked you to marry him? And as that thought flashed away, he said to me, what would you say if we got married? That was, I promise you, that happened.
Wow.
But he was a medical student, and he still had a couple of years to go where he could be secure with a wife. So I went back to Canada because I was visiting Mexico at the time with some friends. And medical interns that were working at the hospital where I was working at the time in Toronto. They had just finished 1 year internship at this clinic, and we had become very good friends. That's another story. But anyway, we became very good friends, and when they came back, they invited me for a holiday here in Mexico. And of course I accepted. And Roberto was one of their medical students. They were his friends, and he was at the airport. And we met that night. And the next day he came to pick us up to take us to the university where my friends had to do all their paperwork to continue their medical studies. And he took me on a tour of the university. And of course, he took me to the morgue to see all the cadavers.
When I say romance is dead, it literally was that particular day.
But we saw each other every single day. And on the 14th day, as I said, we went to the wedding of his friends, and that's how but I had to return to Toronto, and he had to do what is called this seguros, his social service, servicio social, which is working for 1 year in the government. And they sent him to one of the states in the north of Mexico. And during that year, we just communicated.
Wow.
And when I came back a year later, on my birthday,
a
friend who had invited us here, invited his parents and my parents who had come with me. We had gone to Acapulco, and then we came back to Mexico City. And then we went to our friend's house to celebrate my birthday, the 6th of February, which was also my mother-in-law's birthday.
Wow. How interesting.
Yes. And that's when he asked for my hand, because that's traditional here.
Wow.
And we waited yet another year because he still had to finish up. So we met in 68 and we were married in 70.
Wow, how amazing. Super cool. And he's a lovely guy as well. I've been lucky enough to meet him a few times.
He is he's a keeper.
He's a good, well, kept him for 53 years. I can't see any point in getting rid of him now. So what's next in store for C.S.Catlin?
Well, I'm working on something new. It's taking me a while because I'm trying to understand my character.
Okay.
And understand where he wants to go. Because it's not just sitting down and writing about something. It's getting to know the characters and letting them tell me what they want me to
write. Yeah.
About their lives and why, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, of course. So more books. This sounds amazing. Where can people find the Doves of Castle Dunbar as well?
Amazon.com.
Okay.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Amazon.com. And there's I believe, a Kindle edition, and you can also have a hardback or soft paper edition.
Amazing. Well, people at home, it is an amazing read. And as you've seen throughout this interview, Shatina's Facebook and YouTube and Twitter have been floating magically across the bottom of this screen. So please please go and show some love. Please go and show your support. And definitely go to Amazon and buy this book. It really is. If you like Philippa Gregory, I mean, there were the people that I was reading Philippa's books at the time when I was speaking to Shetina, and she told me about her book. And it kind of just flowed so effortlessly when I was reading that book. It was amazing. So if you like that kind of style, time travel, medieval, up to date, I mean, it has a bit of something for everyone and super magical and
It has a murder. It has a murder. It has a kidnapping. It has passionate sex, and it has love and soulmates and a little bit of everything. So it's a good beach read. It's a good read just to take your mind off every day.
God, it should be a bloody movie, actually. It's amazing.
Oh, from your lips to heaven.
Well, listen, if there's anyone watching that makes movies, you need to be reading this book, quite frankly, because this does need to be a movie. It would be phenomenal. I believe that as well. Who would, like, when you kick back and sit by the pool with a margarita, who do you read? I mean, do you read C.S.Catlin or do you go and read other authors?
Right now, I'm hooked on Kate Morton.
Okay.
I don't know if you know her. She's an Australian author, and a friend suggested I read The Forgotten Garden, which I devoured, and now I'm reading her Lake House, and I love the way she expresses herself. And as I read Kate Morton, I think I have no business writing. I mean, this woman has a wonderful way of setting scenes and just bringing you right into the story until right to the very end, where when everything is revealed. So
Okay.
I love her. My likes are very diverse.
Okay.
I am hooked on Michio Kaku, who is a theoretical physicist.
Okay.
And I guess this is where the dimension thing comes from, because I like to know. I'd like to read about all the new discoveries as far as astrophysicists goes.
Wow.
Of course, Neil deGrasse Tyson is one of my favorites also. I haven't read him yet, but he's on my list. Who else? I've made it a point of reading at least one book a year. Oh my God, a month.
That sounds like me. Okay.
A month. Okay. And of course, Ernest Hemingway, one of my favorites. And he's my hero also as a writer. Who else? Cutting for Stone by Abraham Verghese, I believe it's pronounced that way. It's an amazing book, Cutting for Stone. You should read it. You would like it, I think.
Okay.
Who else? My goodness, all kinds. Graham Greene. I've gone back to reading the old novels that were popular many years ago, which have so much substance. The End of the Affair, for instance. I don't know if you've ever watched the film with there's my laguna mental, my mental lagoon. I can see Juliet Moore, Julia Moore, and Ralph Fiennes.
Okay.
Beautiful movie. Anyway, that's the Graham Greene book I'm reading right now, along with Kate Morton. I have to leave it because it's very intense. I believe for me, it's very intense. Leo Tolstoy, Anna Karenina. We know the story. Anna Karenina. I'm going to tell you off. You should know Anna Karenina. Leo Tolstoy, Russian author.
Oh, it does sound familiar.
Okay, so we know the story. She falls in love outside of her marriage, and I won't say the ending because anybody who has not read it will not want to know. Okay. But anyway, it's a 1,000-page book, and it's very intense because he speaks about political situation in the there's my Spanish again. I was going to say 1800s, the 1800s. The political situation in Russia and the agricultural and so on. It jumps from society, I should say, to all these aspects of Russia at that time. Wow. And then of course, the love story of Anna Karenina and Alexandra. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
As I say, I don't have one I like to read
So-
biographies. I love biographies. I love to read about people. And
Could
know
you
about
compare your writing to another author, or are you just 100% C.S.Catlin?
Oh no, definitely me. I don't think anyone would want me to say I'm copying them because
No, I don't mean copying, but do you think
not
like,
copy, yeah.
yeah, but like, oh, my vibe is very similar
Anyway.
to, or
No, I wouldn't do that to anyone. No, because anyone who picks up my book, I don't think, well, I don't know. I love to have compliments. Perhaps I criticize myself too much. When I read someone like Kate Morton, for instance, I mean, I like her very, very much, and I don't think my writing is different. Let's say that my writing is different. I think I've got a lot of description, and I try to bring people into the story. One of the things that was with me as I was writing was let them ask the question, what next?
okay,
I don't know if it happened to you as you
yeah,
were reading,
absolutely, yes.
but like, what next?
Mhm.
And that will keep you going until the end.
Amazing. So people at home, if you want to find out how
What next?
C.S.Catlin, then the only thing you can do is purchase the book and read it for yourself. And it will be amazing if you have read the book to put your comments below this particular show, because other people would love to read them. And also it might encourage other people to go and buy the book as well. Shatina C.S.Catlin, thank you so much for being part of the Jaden show.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me. It was
Always.
a pleasure.
Always, and I'm going to pop over for a cup of tea in the next couple. I'm going to bring my mum over in the next couple of weeks.
I would love to meet your mother.
Yeah,
I would love that.
She'll be
Yes.
over. She'll be over. Maybe even next week. That would be the week after next. That would be fantastic.
How long is she staying?
2 weeks, just one day short of 2 weeks. 12 or 13 days, I think.
Okay, well, we'll have to hurry her over here for at least one day to steal away one afternoon of her holiday.
That would be perfect. I won't be stealing it
I
away.
love that.
It'd be lovely. Your place is beautiful. So thank you so much for the
Thank you
offer
so
as well.
much.
Listen, come back and tell me, especially when the next book is going to come out. And we're going to plan a show together to talk. I didn't want to talk about it too much today. But, you know, like I said earlier on in the show, that the first book was put together, was written, was discovered by having to go through severe personal trauma. And it's something that is very poignant and something that we hear about more, I think, now than ever, to be fair. So we are going to meet up again soon, which will be lovely to see you. And it will be lovely to speak about the power of that book that was actually your first book. Can you just give us a title of that book?
In Spanish, Una razón para vivir. In English, A reason to live.
Fantastic. Well, we are going to get together. Let's not give too much away, but we are going to get together very, very soon. And it's going to be a Jaden show, mega show, because we're going to really get into this book and talk about it. Does involve no, I'm not going to tell it because I want people to come back and watch it. So it's going to be amazing. I'm not going to say anything now, but guys at home, stay tuned. Make sure you have subscribed, because you are really going to watch. If your life has ever been affected by suicide or by the aspects of suicide within family, within friendships, or even something maybe even as far as one of your peers, one of your mentors, one of your muses that you've discovered has committed suicide, then it's definitely going to be the show. And it's not going to be all doom and gloom. It's going to be supportive. It's going to be realistic and very positive as well. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel. So as soon as that show comes out, you at home are going to know all about it. C.S.Catlin, Shatina, thank you. I send you the biggest hugs. And we will catch up.
I'm looking forward to feeling your bodily, ¿cómo se dice? Tu calor humano.
Your human heat. Your body heat, I guess.
But it doesn't sound as romantic as in Spanish.
We don't care.
Calor humano.
We're going to have a hug very soon.
Okay.
Right, lovely lady. Take good care. Love
Take
to the
care.
family as well, and we will definitely
Thank you
catch
so
up
much.
soon.
And
Take
love
care,
to
honey.
yours too,
Thank you.
your little ones.
Yes, that are growing by the bleeding day. Absolutely. We'll catch up soon. Big hugs.
Okay. It was fun. Thank you.
Thank you. Not only was she amazing to speak to, but I'm awfully excited about my huge hug and my cup of tea. So I'm not going to spend much longer here because I'm about to get ready and go. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed meeting my lovely friend, and I do hope you go and support her and her work. I also hope you go and get that book and leave comments, because it really is a lovely, lovely, lovely read. So I really do suggest that you go and check that book out. And as said, you can purchase it on Amazon. So as soon as you've clicked off of here, subscribe to this channel, and then go straight to Amazon and go and get your copy of the book. Or if you've got Kindle, just go and get that copy of the book. It will be amazing. Now, I'm not going to leave you with nothing and no music on the show, because I'm a singer, darling. I love to sing. So I'm going to sing a new song, actually an old song, but a new recording of this old song. It's a really, really beautiful song. It's super romantic. It's super beautiful. There was a video on YouTube with an artist called Kevin Youngman, and I've been singing with that artist on YouTube in events all over the country, not England, but Mexico as well, actually. And I thought, I'm going to record it. So this is called The Prayer. This is Kevin Youngman and Jaden Cornelius. You will find out if you go to you're on my YouTube now, but if you go and find The Prayer on my YouTube, you'll also find everywhere that you can find Kevin and the work and the music that he is doing as well. So go and show him some love and support as well. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's show. Go and check me out on my social media platforms: Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, all of them. Or just put Jaden Cornelius with an IOUS into Google and you'll find where this boy is at. I will see you next week on the Jaden Show. Stay lovely, stay safe, stay beautiful, and we'll catch up next Sunday. This is The Prayer. This is goodbye from me. Stay beautiful. Bye-bye.
I pray you'll be our eyes and watch us where we go, and help us to be wise in times when we don't know. Let this be our prayer when we lose our way. Lead us to a place, guide us with your grace, to a place where we'll be safe.
La luce che tu dai,
I pray we'll find your love
nel cuore resterà,
and hold it in our heart.
A ricordarsi che
When stars go out each night,
l'eterna stella sei nella mia preghiera.
let this be our prayer.
Quanta fede che
When shadows fill our day,
lead us to a place,
guide us with your grace,
to a place where we'll be safe. Sogniamo un mondo senza più violenza, un mondo di giustizia giustizia e di speranza. Ognuno di la mano al suo vicino, simbolo di pace, di fraternità. Forza che ci dà
Yes, but let me
il desiderio te,
just from above.
non trovi amore,
We hope we so will find
corri dentro a sé.
another song.
Let this be a prayer,
Let this be a prayer,
just like every child,
just like every child
needs to find a place.
guide us with your grace.
Give us faith so we'll be saved. È la fede che hai acceso in noi. Sento che ci sono